Sit in a chair that's not too comfortable. The edge of a bed is fine, a kitchen chair, office chair, sitting in your parked car. No music, no effects, no mood lighting, no one else around right now. To begin, just you alone and my voice. Let your feet be flat down, solidly placed on the floor. If this is your first time, you haven't already first done the 15-minute version of this exercise, then please stop, go back and do that first before practicing this one. That's just so you understand what's going on here. It'll be simpler for you that way. Otherwise, you're ready. So here we go. I'm going to speak to you right now in a very special way. Bring your hands together in front of you. Palms lightly touching, just barely. Fingertips together, same thing. Just touching lightly. Now, close your eyes. Gently. Don't squint. Don't squeeze. Slacken your eye muscles. Let them loosen. Just lightly closed lids so that you find that you're looking in the direction of your eyelids. I want you to look at what seems like the inside of your eyelids. Just look straight, as if you can see them. Notice I didn't tell you to see your eyelids. I just want you to look toward them, as if you were seeing them, straight ahead. Now, while observing what is the inside of your head, you'll also notice that you see little points of light, or sparkles, little speckles. Maybe some colors, maybe white, gray, or grayish. They could even form little patterns of speckles of light. They're like little sparkling pinpoints, patterns and colors and shades. They're moving around. See that? There is light in there, inside you. Just see it. Don't form any opinion about it. Don't think about it. Just gently notice that they're there. See, observe. That's all. That's all I want you to do right now. Just be here now, viewing lights inside of your head. Just watch them. And as you watch them, your attention will at some point be carried away by a thought. A thought about the future or the past. It could be about anything. It's as if in that moment, the lights have temporarily vanished. Now, when that happens, just see that it has. This can happen at any time. In seconds, milliseconds of thinking, and that's okay. It's expected. We want that because now there's something else. As you're noticing the lights inside of your head, also become aware of your hands together in front of you. In particular, your two thumbs touching. Just notice them. See that they exist. And when you notice your thumbs, they begin to tingle. Just a tiny little energizing effect. Your awareness has activated them. Just see that your thumbs are there. Notice them, no words. Just observe, and they become stimulated with an energy. Move your attention from your thumbs now over to your index fingers. Gently shift your awareness over to them, and now they begin to tingle. It's very mild, like a low voltage energy emanating out of your attention. You're noticing coalesces of force, very subtle, like you can almost feel your blood in those fingers. Now shift that noticing to your middle fingers. Notice those, be aware of them. Now they tingle. When a thought comes and takes you away from noticing your middle fingers, just see that it's happened. No need to be frustrated. Just come back to the inside of your head, look at the inside of your eyelids, notice the speckles of light once again, then bring your attention back down to your middle fingers. Notice them until they tingle. Brightness in your head and a tingling in your fingers. The important thing is to feel that tingling in your fingers. Now, shift your attention to your ring fingers. Be aware of them. They tingle. Now move your attention to your pinky fingers. Don't force it at all. Don't try to make it happen. Just gently notice your fingers, and it will happen all on its own. Be aware that they're there, and your pinky fingers will begin to tingle. No need to concentrate on anything. When at any time during this you find that you're pondering or contemplating, if a thought comes and takes you away from noticing your fingers, it could be beautiful thoughts. It could be ugly thoughts, maybe positive affirmations that someone gave you. It doesn't matter. Just gently disengage from any of them by simply bringing your attention back to the inside of your head, looking, noticing the lights, and then coming back to noticing your fingers again. Very simple. Sometimes not very easy because thoughts are stubborn. They keep coming. Well, they're not going to stop, ever. Do it anyway, as often as necessary, 1,000 times if you have to. Watch for frustration. See it. This is practice. This is exercise. It's preparation for real life. When your attention has gone to thinking, gently bring your attention back first to the lights inside of your head, then allow your attention to go back down to your fingers and just leaving those thoughts behind. Just see, notice your pinky fingers. Be aware that they exist. They tingle. Now bring your attention back toward your thumbs. Notice those. And they energize with your awareness. They tingle. See that? Now shift your attention to your pointer fingers. They tingle. Middle fingers. They tingle. There's magic here. Don't stop. I'm not asking you to use your imagination to make them tingle. Don't focus. Just become aware that your middle fingers are there, and they will tingle. Now shift to your ring fingers, and your ring fingers tingle. Move to your pinkies. Now they tingle. Now bring your attention back to your thumbs again. If at any time a thought comes and takes you away from being aware of your fingers, and that will happen, just notice it. Watch. See that this has happened. Have no opinion about it, and simply restart, reboot. Look once again toward the inside of your eyelids. It's like the center of your forehead and your eyelids are one, like a movie screen. You can't even distinguish between the two. They seem to occupy the same space inside your head. Noticing your eyelids has made you mindful of the center of your forehead, too. So now when I say look inside of your head, I mean observe there, too. Look at the inside of your eyelids and the center of your forehead at the same time. You can't help it. It just happens. Observe the lights inside you, inside your head, entering, filling. This is inner light. That's it. It's not a metaphor. It's real. This is what the ancients have written and spoken about. Become aware of the middle of your forehead and see inside you. See? There is now light. It's filling in. It supersedes the darkness. It separates you from darkness. Just see that light. It's cleansing. You're becoming clean by it. Bring your attention now back to your thumbs. Let them tingle. Shift now to your forefingers. Notice them. Notice the tingling. Keep going. Move ahead of me from one finger to the next on your own. No matter what I say, just keep going. There's no need to ponder, no need to concentrate, no need to contemplate on words or ideas from other people, from books, not even from me. No need to remember anything that I'm saying. Just watch the temptation to try. No effort. Instead, just notice. That's all I'm asking you to do right now. There's nothing to learn. Just watch, make each finger tingle, and that's it. See how simple it is? All you'll ever need to know will come as a result of this, of being objective. It isn't an intellectual knowing, it's intuitive. You can learn things, science, literature, academics, of course, but there's a right way. From an awakened state of being where intellect is guided by spirit, and not the spirit and conscience getting overwhelmed by the intellect. Right now, you're in that state. You're awakened. This is practicing stillness. You're safe as long as you can see those lights and feel your fingers tingle. You're awake then. It doesn't feel like anything more than simple awareness, an awareness of thoughts. No bliss, no ecstasy. Seeking those feelings is egoistic. We're disengaging from the ego, not feeding it. So just observe. As you're noticing the light speckles of brightness inside your head, also noticing thoughts as they crop up and as you can make your fingers tingle. As you're doing this, you're conscious in these moments. From this neutral space, you find emotional judgments just passing by without you grabbing onto them to savor, because you can see. You can discern true from false without emotions contaminating your vision. You experience inner vision. It's above thinking. Your intuitiveness is activating while you're in this state of consciousness. There's no involvement with emotion at all. If emotions arise, just see them. There's no harm in that. There's aid. It's seeing. Seeing is the spiritual aid. It's from your Creator. There's insight. There's an openness to accept light in, as well as what that light carries with it, what it carries into you. Not words, but truth. It's a purging light. It contrasts the dark. It drives out darkness. It's illuminating. Light squashes the nature of a lower self that lives in the dark, in the shadows of your thinking intellect. It hides there. But now it is shrinking in the light. This is really happening within you right now as you let that light in, as that light energy extends into your body, as you become aware of your fingers, as they tingle. Now shift attention to your next set of fingers. They tingle. Keep that going. Move on to the next set of fingers and then to the next. Don't stop. Regardless of anything I say, just keep going. I know I'm saying some beautiful things. I'm speaking to the spirit, not to the intellect. Your spirit can find joy in hearing these things. Your intellect, that may tremble in fear. That's not your fear. That's its fear. Just watch. There's no need to try to figure out what all this means. The temptation to analyze is just a distraction that keeps you away from this experience. Something inside you wants to keep you thinking instead of realizing your ego, your lower self. It's becoming unglued by this. This is too humbling for it. It hates that. Good. Just notice the temptation to try to analyze this. Be aware of your fingers and see that they tingle. There's no analysis necessary. Move from one finger to the next. Notice them. They tingle. Now shift your consciousness to the next set of fingers. Be aware of those. They tingle. We're moving across your entire hand, one set of fingers at a time. Now the next. Notice they tingle. When a thought comes, see that it has. Notice the lights once again, and then extend your intention once more down to your fingers. It's very simple. Be aware of thoughts and don't try to blank out your mind. Trying to make your mind empty is dangerous under any circumstances. Suppressed thought will only collect and then they'll need to be dealt with later, and they keep you in the dark in the meantime. We want thoughts to be out in the open where they can be seen in the light, in the sunlight of the spirit. Brightness in your mind, tingling in your fingers. Just do that. Once your fingers tingle, shift to the next. Then they tingle. Keep going to the next set of fingers, then to the next. No matter what I say, just keep doing that. You're meditating. You're exercising. And when a thought comes, look once again at the lights within. Look at your eyelids. See those pinpoints. Just notice that they're there. And then bring your attention back down your arms, into your hands, into your fingers again, until they tingle with the energy of your attention. Keep it up. No matter how many times you become distracted or forget, that's going to happen. Just move along. It's very important that you engage both head and fingers anytime you do this. You're developing an ability to observe without getting caught up with the stream of thinking, without getting caught up with the world. Now going forward into your day, you'll have the option of being aware. Just as you exercise that option now in these moments of practicing, you'll find that it's something you can do anytime during the day, anytime that you need. You can do it at work, waiting online at a supermarket. Eventually, you'll even be able to do it just walking around with your eyes opened. In time. Maybe not just yet, but later. This consciousness is always within you. It's available at any time, like right now. It's eternal. It's always now. It's where He is, your Creator. Each time that you're awake and aware, your clear objectivity permits you to see things that you could never see before, with a clarity and a perspective it's outside of the stream of thought. Thinking is where all emotions come from. Now you'll be emotionally detached. You'll have emotions, of course. But now you can see emotions, observing them as they arise. You see them before they can overwhelm you, and so they lose their power to grip you and to feed a need inside of you to feel. By waking up in this way, you're free to observe without being controlled by emotions. Something in you, something not you, wants to feel. It wants to judge. Now it can no longer use you to do that. You might even feel its fear over this. That's its fear, not yours. Too bad for it. One finger to the next. You're practicing being aware. You're coming out of a dream state. That's all this is. It's waking up. You may have been asleep for a very long time. Something or someone put you off balance, and it pulled you into an unconsciousness, some kind of upset, an injustice, a cruelty, whatever, whoever. They didn't know. They didn't know what they were doing. It happened to them. Forgive them. Now, as you go through your day, you can step back, just as you're doing now. When someone does something to upset you, don't think, oh, they've had a bad day, or, oh, they didn't mean that. That's analyzing. That's justifying. From now on, just see what is so. Have no opinion about it. Let opinions just come and go. Watch the temptation to get upset, to emotionally judge. And in the light of awareness, the emotions just fall away. And you're left. Just a conscious you watching. You're able to judge properly from that perspective without emotion. Yeah, you can judge properly. You can discern with love. The absence of anger, the absence of hate, that's a righteous judgment, not playing God. Your ability to come out of the dream world in daily life will become stronger each time that you practice this exercise. Each time should be just like the first. Then the benefits of being conscious enters into your daily affairs more and more, without trying. All you have to do is practice. Keep it up. Now you're meditating without contemplation, without relying on thinking, but instead, you are seeing. It's free of intellect. It's free of thought. You come to rely on that more and more, no longer making decisions solely on brain power, but moving through events with wordless intuition. No more unhealthy attachments to intellect. You're rising above thoughts. You're free of the power that thoughts have to manipulate you. You're free of those who give you those thoughts so that they can control you, upsetting you in some way, exciting you, or castigating you, either way. Now when someone praises you with an ulterior motive, you can step back and watch without taking the bait. When they condemn you with anger, you can watch. The negativity they project hits, but then it falls off. Your consciousness protects you just by watching, by observing. So simple. Nothing to do, no struggle, no effort. There is no struggle when you're conscious. Your Creator loves you and saves you from anger. You don't have to do anything except become still like this. And He's here. Let Him enter. Keep noticing your fingers. One set, then the next. Don't stop. Let the words I say just roll by. And thoughts come. It's to be expected. If that didn't happen, then we'd have nothing to do here. So just notice them and reboot. Bring your noticing back again to the speckles of light inside. See the little galaxy of lights. See the little patterns moving around. And then move your attention back to your fingers and resume right where you left off. One set of fingers. Watch them tingle. Then the next. Make each set of fingers tingle and then move on to the next set. Just keep going. Hear what I say without trying to remember anything. You won't have to remember anything because now you have intuition. You thought you had it before. You did, but now you're receiving it and also free to have it operate within. It won't be overwhelmed by animal instincts. Intuition should override instinct, and now you have access to that. Being conscious this way means that you're no longer subject to forces that crop up to enter your psyche, that control you by your reacting to them. Being unaware allows them to get inside where they excite something inside you that judges, that relishes bitterness. No more. Not when you're awake. Not this way. This is practicing conscious awareness through non-contemplative meditation. That's what this is. You are gently pulling away from the self that wants to feed on negativity, on judging, that lifts others into heaven or else condemns them to hell as if it were God. That looks for the occasion to sit in judgment. It even judges you as worthy or not worthy. It creates dramas, real or imagined. Chaos in your life, in your relationships with people, over possessions, with money. People, money, and power are fine, of course, but only when experienced properly. Not abused to give you a sense of worth. Using people and materials to feel alive is a lie. But you've abused things and people, and that's brought about an involuntary enslavement to those people, those places, those things, to conditions, to environments, to cultures, to your culture, to others' cultures. You've been as much a slave to those who praise you as to those who try to harm you with their actions or words. Sometimes what pretends to be justice is really just a form of cruelty, but in a pretty package. You can see this now. In the state of awareness, you can distinguish right from wrong without emotion, without judgment, without playing God. Just keep moving along with each finger. And when a thought comes, when you notice that you've been carried off inside of your thinking, just look inside of your head again. Look in the direction of your eyelids, notice the speckles of light, and then bring your attention back down to your fingers again, making them tingle, and then continue to the next, over and over. Just keep doing that as many times as it happens. It may happen a lot. It will happen a lot. That's the nature of something in you that wants to pull you out of the present moment. There's no need to become upset by interrupting thoughts. This is an exercise. That's supposed to happen. Can you see now how your awareness has atrophied in the past? How you've been caught up in self-will and how that's controlled you? Then the wills of others controlled you? They gained access to you too? No more. Not when you're free like this. You're exercising your God-given awareness. It's lighted by the light of truth, His truth, not your truth. Your Creator's truth, whatever that is. When you're conscious like this, you'll know, without anyone telling you. Feel your fingers tingle. When any thought comes, simply be aware of it and notice that thought. You are not your thoughts, and your thoughts are not you. Your awareness has placed some distance between you and thinking. Once you're noticing a thought, and you're no longer in the stream of thinking, you're no longer attached to the thought, and then the thought passes. It leaves you. You're unaffected. This is your protection. This is the state of awareness. This is the meditative state. There's nothing more to it than this. Don't expect anything to happen. Don't look for elation or pleasure, for knowledge or enlightenment. That's not our purpose. We are simply practicing stillness, a wakeful state. And with that, we're discovering where and how to find truth. And it comes when we're still. Allow yourself to become aware of your existence. Notice the speckles of light in your head. Be aware of them. Now, who is here noticing those lights? It's you. Notice that you're here. Now, if you aren't here, there'd be no one to notice the lights in your head. But here you are. You're real. Now. Now is real. You exist now, and you're here noticing the lights inside of your head. Just notice you. You're present now, looking inside of your head as if peering into a cavern. Where there's darkness, yes, but in the darkness, there's also light, patterns of light, spots, dots, speckles. They separate you from the void in the background. A curtain of light protects you from the dark, from whatever lurks in there. Now bring your attention back to your hands. Begin again now with your thumbs once more. Notice those thumbs. Now go from one finger to the next. Notice your fingers, each one set at a time, until each set of fingers begins to tingle slightly, very gently, and then keep going. Whatever I say, let it go in and out of your head without trying to remember or analyze. See how entangled with your thoughts you can become? As you go from one finger to the next, watch the thoughts when they arise. Seeing them means that you're no longer entangled with them. They can't make you feel when you watch them this way. Emotions burn off under the light of consciousness, and you stay free. Since you're able to see the pixels of light and be conscious of them, that means that you exist, that you're spirit. That is what you really are, not flesh and blood. Flesh and blood is temporary. Spirit can last long after the body is gone. You are not the fingers, but you're able to notice the fingers. You are not the light, but you can be aware of the light. Inside. Within. Spirit is the part of you that can observe, that can stand back and be separated from the physical self, just by noticing that you and your body are not one and the same. There's a distance of time and space between you and what you observe, even thoughts. There's no need to fear thoughts, not even the negative ones. That would be a resentment toward them. That would be a judgment, playing God. Just observe them objectively, and if a wave of resentment presents itself to judge, just see it. Seeing is all that's needed for it to lose its power over you. It's when you're unseeing that thoughts and words and ideas can overwhelm you and shock you with their negativity. That's emotion. It's a charge spun out of thinking. That's what we're watching for. Not to fight, not to struggle, but just to see. There is nothing to fear or to resent for seeing them. Seeing thought is the point. If anything, it's what causes the negative thoughts that should be afraid, and it is. It fears because now you are aware of its existence. There's something inside you that does not like this. It does not want you to wake up this way. When a thought comes, just bring your attention back to the inside of your head. Observe. Look at the inner side of your eyelids and bring your attention back down into your hands. Become aware of your fingers. Start back with your thumbs right now. Notice them tingle. And then shift to the next set of fingers, your index fingers. Allow them to tingle. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't get caught up with what I say. Don't worry about which finger or how long it takes to tingle. Just do it. Just keep making your fingers tingle, noticing stars, noticing the lights in your head every time that a thought takes you away. There's nothing else to do right now. There's nothing to remember. Just be aware of your fingers tingling. Move on to the next. They tingle. And then keep going. When a thought pulls you away from noticing your fingers, just see that it's done that. Reboot. You reboot by looking at the inside of your eyelids again and observing. Observe the lights. Observe the sparkling pinpoints. The brightness that disturbs the dark. And then bring your attention back to your fingers again. Notice them touching lightly. Just see that they're there and they begin to tingle. They energize, and as soon as they do, then shift your attention to the next set of fingers. They energize. Shift to the next. Those energize. Shift to the next. Keep going. Just see thoughts as they arise. There's no need to quash them. Don't try to replace one thought with another. Just see them. Be aware of them. Even if they seem objectionable, even if they seem unspiritual, whatever they are, if they're vile, even if they're beautiful, simply see that they're there, that they arise. Make no judgment about them, no opinion at all. Don't decide that you want them or don't want them. There's no need to force new thoughts as if to replace old ones. Positive affirmations, whatever it is. Whoever can replace your old thoughts with new ones also has the power to control you. They have the power to implant their will into you or to activate what you think is your will. It isn't. These are wills that we're letting go of now. Just observe the thoughts and let them fall away. Notice that I'm not asking you to blank your mind from thought. Just see your thoughts. Don't suppress them. Let thoughts arise. This is the exercise. This is what you're learning to do, to watch. Just watch. Not just now, but later and tomorrow too, after you open your eyes, after you go on into your day. You can watch for selfishness. You can watch for dishonesty, bitterness, anger. You can observe resentment and fear as they approach. These are all emotions. They're meant to move you. Move your attention from one finger to the next. Keep going. When a thought comes, start over. Just bring your attention back to the inside of your head again. Become aware of the center of your forehead, looking at the inside of your eyelids, and notice the little galaxy of lights moving around inside of your head. The brightness in your mind amidst the darkness. Notice those little twinkling speckles as they move around, as they sparkle. That's all I'm asking you to do. Don't focus on them. Don't force your attention or try to see them. Just see them. You aren't creating them with your imagination. The lights are real. Maybe you can recall seeing them when you were a little child. They've never gone away. They're still there. They've been there all this time, just waiting for you to access this. See if you can become aware of your hands in front of you now. Palms touching. Lightly. Fingers too. Just notice that they exist. See them in your mind's eye. Sense an outline of your hands as they come together as though you're praying. You can sense their presence. You have been praying. You are praying. Silently. Through stillness. Through consciousness rising. In that stillness is your prayer. Real prayer. Notice thoughts as they arise. See them, and then notice your hands again. Feel their warmth. They glow. If you want to notice all of your fingers now too, go ahead. But also notice your hands and watch thoughts as they come. I'm not suggesting that you don't think. Thinking happens. I'm simply saying that as thoughts arise, to watch them, to observe them. And when you do, they can't pull you away. You're conscious. You can't be awake and lost in the stream of thought at the same time. You remain mindful. Whenever you meditate this way, you're spiritually awakened. Even if you go back to sleep later, right now, you're present, in the presence of your Creator. As long as you can see those lights, make your hands or fingers tingle. You are practicing consciousness, God consciousness, that you're now going to experience at other times too, automatically as the result of doing this now. You'll find that as you go about your daily affairs that you're coming out of a sleep you never even realized you were in. You're waking up. Don't be surprised. You might see things you never wanted to see. Things you never saw before about yourself, about your past, about your behaviors, about your attitudes. It could be painful, but it's necessary. You'll see past behaviors and patterns of thinking that have been devoted not to your Creator, but to serve self. Dark thing lurking inside. And when that happens, you may cry. A good cry. As the light of truth exposes your sins. Be grateful, not sad. You're being shown. You're learning how to observe your thoughts, seeing that you are not your thoughts, that they are separate and do not originate from within. Learning is not probably the best word. I'm not your teacher. I'm merely reminding you to do something you already knew how to do. It was how you were the day you were born, before someone or something came and destroyed your innocence through their impatience, their hypocrisy, or even more obvious traumas against your innocence. It caused anger to enter. It caused you to hate. But see where hate has gotten you? The same place hate has gotten others who caused you to hate. You've become them. You didn't know it was happening, just as they didn't know it was happening to them. And if you didn't know, then aren't you deserving of forgiveness? Aren't they too? Haven't we all just been caught up in a whirlpool of numbing emotions, not realizing the selfish, self-centered harms that we do to each other? Now, each time that you step back and become aware, in each second of consciousness, you'll gain strength and become stronger, and the ability to remain awake will become keener. Very soon, today maybe tomorrow, you'll find that you can extend this awareness, you can extend this uncontaminated discernment beyond this session with me right now and take it with you into your daily life. You'll project love onto others, onto earth, as it is in heaven. That's now within you. All right, now open your eyes. You can put your hands down now if you like. Just look around. Notice your surroundings. Take a deep breath. Just fill your lungs with fresh air. One good-sized breath. That's enough. One breath. No more than that. Now listen, something has happened to you over the last few minutes. I didn't hypnotize you. In fact, you are right now unhypnotized. The exact opposite. You need to practice this so you can stay this way. You're not the same person you were before you started. Things are a bit different for you right now, and they will be going forward too. Good things. You're freer. And I suppose I owe you a bit of an explanation about that, so please listen now to the post-talk to non-contemplative meditation, unless you already have, of course. And if you were given this recording independently, then please just go back to my website or to my YouTube or SoundCloud channel and find it there. It's called Post-Talk to the Non-Contemplative Meditation. It's very important that you do that. Thank you.